what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Holy shit.
What did I say about bad language on our show,
Sorry.
Steven?
I'm just so excited.
We're so excited because we're back.
We are back, baby.
Oh, we're back in one of the greatest sound studios I think ever built for podcasts in the world. Definitely at least in the North America.
There's no walls.
There's no walls. There's a fridge. Like, what else do we need?
We have kitchen appliances everywhere.
We have Netflix's menu playing in the background.
Yep.
No content. Just
None.
look at these shows that we've been making.
Yeah. Orange is the New Black is still on.
Still new, apparently.
Yeah.
But this is great. Welcome, everyone, to the CoEd Podcast.
We are back, baby.
The audio edition, which seems to probably be the only edition that we're going to have for a while.
For a little bit, yeah.
Forever, probably, because, we lost our studio, and fuck if I can't find it. I don't know where we put it. where?
I thought it was too big to lose, but apparently...
Apparently not, no.
apparently not.
It's like, where did my inhaler go? I had it with me a minute ago. Yeah. Now I'm asphyxiating, and I'm really in trouble here.
Yeah, it sucks. We tried to work around it, but unfortunately, we've
hit almost every roadblock you could probably
think of. Yeah,
and I just want to say, I know I've said it before. I don't know if it's been recorded, but God bless you, Stephen Cohen, for just being the best partner to deal with in a crisis.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though boy, did we take our time.
Yeah, I'd say.
But it's not like we took our time and just forgot about it. We've been talking about this pretty much daily.
Yeah.
If not just weekly.
Yeah, definitely weekly. We'd have a couple days of silence, but
I
want to say
look
that
at you.
I want to say that we were productively thinking about it and trying to find
we tried so many different solutions, and I would just like to thank, because I know Steve doesn't want to thank them, but anyone that has offered help in the abstract of anything. A lot of good friends have come out the woodwork with possibilities for us to shoot and to record, but just nothing was going to give us even close to what we wanted as far as either logistically or even technologically. We've just, it's tough to get other people involved. And we hope to be visual at some point in the future. But to be honest, though, I think a fair amount of our audience, all 6 of you, it's growing. They kind of don't really watch as intently as we record ourselves.
Yeah.
So having the audio, hopefully this will suffice for now. If not, it'll just be the way it is, and too bad. We really don't care.
Yeah, I mean, most podcasts are all audio anyway.
And most podcasts suck.
Yeah.
So it's good to have the best one out there back and ready to go.
Ever. Yeah, just if YouTube would take some fucking notice.
I don't care. I'm just so happy that we're back.
So yeah, this is the first episode of 2020. We have not
It's
recorded.
it's almost a year to the day of our first recorded episode.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
So much has happened since our last show.
Yeah. Because we did it right before New Year's, right? No,
I think it was like 2 weeks, or maybe the week before Christmas.
Oh my God, Kobe Bryant passing was absolutely shocking.
Who?
You know, the guy's name. You yell his name when you throw garbage.
See, I just heard. I would always just yell like jump shot, or I never yelled Kobe. I never once yelled Kobe.
Yeah.
Maybe Kobe beef just to be funny, but I never yelled Kobe.
No, well, people would ironically say like someone who was really bad.
Yeah,
you could do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if
Landry Fields.
Like if Napoleon Dynamite goes back for a J.
Yeah. But that was absolutely crazy. I was like gut wrenching for somebody like normally. I guess I'm gonna compare it to like our parents' generation with like Thurman Munson, like those guys, like the celebrity.
I think the main difference though with Thurm was that it was during the season and he didn't retire.
Yeah.
He was playing.
Yeah.
So like when they show clips, and my mom even said it. My mom said she bawled her eyes out when she heard the news.
Yeah.
this would have been like if Kobe passed away 5 or 6 years ago and he was still almost in his prime or just at the end of it and still established as Kobe Bryant.
Well, it was still weird to me that he was even retired. Like I considered him still like part of the league. Because he was always like at the games and stuff. And that was the thing. They kept showing how his relationship with his daughter got him back into basketball because he didn't want to, like, once he retired, he kind of just wanted to put it away and not want to be a part of it anymore. And then her love for the game brought him back. And then that's what got him into, like, really analyzing the game more and, like, kind of teaching her. And that was, like, the saddest part, that she was involved, too.
Yeah,
Just
I think if it was any of the
gut-wrenching.
daughters, it would have been super sad.
Yeah.
It just is not, I don't know, it is not really, like, any way you could spin this as, like, anything other than just sad.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And a lot of people have made almost, like, a negative thing about, like, the fake love. Mm-hmm. And I kind of agree with that in a way, but at the end of the day, it's a sad story about a bunch of people, not just the two of them. Yes. And whenever it's family and there's resulting family, because the other family that passed was the husband was a
minor league baseball coach.
Yeah, it was like an independent league kind of thing,
yeah.
but he had ties to the schools and the colleges.
Yep.
And it was his wife and daughter, and I believe they still have 2 daughters that weren't in the accident. Mm-hmm. So, like, where do they go?
It's fucking crazy. Really.
And I also didn't want to talk about it at all because I can't help but just address it. And I don't like to address it this way, but with this happening, and it's super sad, and everyone has a whole life. There's good, there's bad. Yeah. People make mistakes, but
Ups
it's like
downs.
It's like we forgot about the rape.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
and I don't want to bring it up because
was he even convicted? Like,
that's the. Okay,
I know there was like there was a payoff.
It's
and
very
like that,
very sketchy.
Yeah.
I
remember like there was definitely thoughts of the chick was just trying to screw him over.
Well, that's a lot of it because when she came out and said that she wouldn't testify, that's like, oh, then why
what was
wouldn't
the
she?
Fucking point then?
The reason why she didn't testify was because she's a schizophrenic.
There you
So
go.
she wanted to testify, but counsel
she didn't want to sound crazy.
Counsel was like, you can't go up there, and we can't guarantee that.
She's like, Kobe Bryant raped me, and there's a snake in my boots.
I mean, there's so many. I feel dirty talking about it, but at the same time, it's like the sad thing is, since she is schizophrenic, we don't know who he raped. Could have been anybody up there.
She doesn't know either.
I don't feel good about that either. No. But we're gonna keep that because we like off-putting. And everything that I'm saying about this is very tongue-in-cheek because this was something that was settled. He did not go to jail or anything. It's because
he changed his number. He changed his jersey number right after that too. It was almost to like kind of clean his slate in a way.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a different reason. And you know what's funny too? I realized this like a week after he had passed. I had a Kobe Bryant jersey, a number 8.
Yeah. I had one too as a little kid.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
did you ever play his game on the N64? Kobe Bryant basketball. It was fucking awesome. They had an arcade mode that they would put like markers on like randomly each time you had the ball on offense, and it would be like a 5-point shot, 15-point, 10-point, and it would be anywhere. So it could be like a layup or it could be like a half-court shot. And if you hit it, it was 15 points or whatever the points on the marker was. And it was like the final scores. I remember a friend of mine around the corner, we used to play it like crazy. The final scores would be like over 200 because you're hitting like 15-point shots, So but I remember that game being awesome. And the Lakers, I mean, like, that was when they had Shaq. Like, it was...
Yeah, and you know what, too? Like, there was beef between Shaq and Kobe at one point because there couldn't be 2 stars on a team. Like, this is all going to tie into...
And Shaq, I feel like Shaq doesn't have beef with anybody.
Well, and he doesn't have beef with Kobe. At least not anymore.
No, well, that was... I'm
sorry,
terrible.
Bryant family.
I'm a sick pup. But, like, one of the first things, because the first thing you want to do in a sad situation is find a way to, I guess, laugh to, like, get over the pain of like being.
I
sad.
mean, if you
so,
really felt a lot of pain for someone you've never met.
Oh no,
you know what I
mean. Like if
I know
something
what you
sad,
mean,
the first
yeah.
thing you want to do is like I want to not laugh at that, but you want to just find something funny to get your mind off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought of there's a whole different meaning to the term Kobe. Now you're gonna be grabbing the shit bar in like a petty vehicle you're in before you crash. Terrible.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But I'm almost ashamed I did.
going.
That's so easy.
I know.
It's like next time you're like turbulence on
Yeah,
a plane.
exactly.
Kobe!
Oh,
We apologize
Terrible.
on behalf of the CoEd Podcast
Yeah.
to anyone that's offended by that.
Oh,
and if
man.
you can't laugh
You
a
know
little
what?
bit at that.
It's just that it's fun.
And it's not like anyone, like, if so many of the people that would be offended by that, Kobe never met you in their
Yeah.
life. And
you
if
gotta
they
make the best
did,
of a bad situation, obviously.
so if you're hearing a little, like, sniffing and licking right now, that's Steve's dog,
we have,
Molly.
Molly's
Good girl.
our special guest today. What would be your worst way to go if you were gonna?
My worst way to die?
Yeah.
Gee, Steve, real softball question here.
Oh, I'm laying it up for you.
Worst way to... I don't even want to think about that. I mean...
But what scares you? Like, all right, people are afraid of flying. People are afraid of
Not
like
afraid of flying.
helicopters or like
helicopters are going to take a
hot
hit
air
right now.
balloon.
You know what? Okay, if you're afraid of being in a hot air balloon, don't go in one. There's a
Yo,
real way.
you couldn't fucking pay me to go into a fucking
Really?
Yeah, no way, dude. You're sitting in a there. You have zero control. You're just
Interesting.
sitting in a basket. God forbid there's a gust. Like you're just like I don't know. I feel like
Gus.
I just picture myself in that environment, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way that I'd be like even-minded or anything.
See,
like that.
I would consider doing a hot air balloon just because if I have an experienced pilot,
What, the guy that pulls the fucking lever? Like, what? Yeah. That's what I mean. That's all I got. Like, you get all of a sudden just like gale force winds out of nowhere. What the fuck are you gonna?
We got Portner chiming in on our Instagram.
Oh, shit, Portner.
He just wrote in, a wicker basket with fire sounds safe.
Dude, that's what I'm
could
saying.
not be more correct, sir.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, at least with the like planes, if something goes wrong with the engine, you can still glide down. But like,
Yeah, or
a helicopter,
in other
you're
words,
fucked.
glide down. In other words, come careening to the surface. Like,
yeah, but you can still like steer it to something that you're not,
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Unless you're over the Isle of Manhattan, then you're gonna steer it into.
Or it still has like landing gear or something. But like a fucking helicopter, you're just dropping.
Did you see the video?
If that's real,
That's
'cause
horrifying, right?
Yeah, because the only thing is I saw that video, and it almost looks like a deserty.
Well, that's the thing. Well, they're
environment.
flying
where they
over-
were going. It was like wooded areas, and it was super foggy, and like you couldn't see fucking 10 feet
Well,
in front
the
of you.
fog was up.
Yeah, but if you
So-
looked at like the crash site, like where it wasn't even remotely
at
the
least
same.
the video that I saw, it looked like it was like a
looked
tourist
horrible.
attraction.
It looked horrible,
Right.
And there was people like standing there watching. And,
Yeah, because there were railings and stuff, so it had to have been like a nature preserve or something that
Yeah.
they flew into. But
they showed the
tailspin-
trajectory of where. So I had thought from the reports that they just like couldn't see anything and they accidentally crashed into the mountain or hill or whatever. But they actually showed like I guess they tracked it and they like went up and then they made like a turn and then just went right back down. So something definitely went wrong. I just think of like that final, like that last minute. It's just got to be the most horrendous fucking thing ever.
But when you talk about like an ending, like it was instant.
You would hope. You would hope.
I don't know, man. That fireball was huge.
If that's the video.
I'm sure. I mean, I haven't seen another one that's come out that showed this is really what happened or whatever. And I also hate how people immediately jump onto the whole, well, he shouldn't have been in a helicopter. Why can't you go in traffic anyway? Look, if you got the money.
Which he apparently used to do this all the time, especially
he does
when he
all the
was
time.
when he was playing.
It's
he
the
used
high
to,
society way to travel in LA because
it's
fuck traffic.
Yeah, but he also it was the quickest way that he could get home to see his kids like while he was playing. So he would fly home just even for like a half hour just to see his kids and then fly back.
Sure.
Which is just crazy,
ridiculous. Yeah,
but to have that luxury, I mean, that's stupid money at that point. But
yeah. But
yeah.
I feel like, to be perfectly honest, we should go into something happier.
All right, I was going to go to the Aaron Hernandez documentary. But
oh God, I still haven't watched it.
Oh, you didn't watch it yet?
No,
it's only 3 episodes, so it's it's an easy,
cool. Okay,
easy watch. But yeah, that was another one. It was just crazy. Of course, they bring CTE into it, and they actually he donated his brain to getting studied for all that crap, and you could see over the years too, like the hits. He was pretty much the same size as Gronkowski, so he was taking hits like fucking crazy. And
but also there was a lot about
his behavior was just so. And it's honestly starting to, now I'm looking at Antonio Brown, and I'm like, this dude definitely has fucking CTE.
I don't think Antonio Brown has CTE.
He's a psycho.
He's taken a shot or two, but I think that's more
that
him
perfect hit. He hasn't been the same since that perfect hit. But
Who would be the same
But they
after
played, I was listening, I don't know what radio show, it was either ESPN or The Fan, but they were talking about, they brought up an audio clip of him getting interviewed before he got hit by perfect, and then recently, which was like a week ago, and what do you call it? Oh, so yeah, you can hear like his tone, everything. He sounds way more. I'm not gonna say I guess articulate, but he's like pronouncing his words. He's speaking clearly, and he's like talking about the Steelers. I don't know exactly when it was recorded, but I think it was like post game or something. And he was talking about Tomlin, and he's talking about everybody. And then you hear him recently on a radio show after he apologized for everything, and he explained. Well, you can call it an apology, but whatever. But he's almost slurring every word that comes out of his mouth. Like he's like mumbling, and then I even saw when he was on Hard Knocks, when he was on the Raiders, and anytime he was actually on screen, I'm like, this guy just doesn't seem like mentally there. I don't know. He seemed kind of shot.
But I think he is a very good example of someone with the most talent in the world, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Who, he was in so many commercials. He went ahead.
Wasn't he on Dancing with the Stars?
Ooh, maybe.
I think he was.
But he also, he had the hair that, everybody tried to copy.
Once he bleached his mustache, I was like, okay,
and
what's going
just
on?
the soul patch?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The crazier the hair, the crazier the temperament.
Yeah.
I mean, Odell isn't anywhere near that, but Odell's a little younger.
Yeah.
Who knows where Odell's going to go with this?
I don't care. I really could give a fuck about Odell. It's like a soap opera, pretty much.
Yeah, with
it's like
baseball,
so much drama. But
baseball,
not the drama you want from sports. It's like the nonsense.
Yeah, with baseball though, it didn't come up until there was allegations outside of the game, and then you'd get the real ridiculous personality. Like Manny being Manny, really didn't happen until the steroid scandal. Mm-hmm. But Manny being Manny before that was just goofy stuff on the field.
Other than a brawl, when Boston and the Yankees used to be fucking at each other's throats, and Pedro.
Well, not even that long ago. What was it, 3 years ago? The Tyler Austin and Kelly fight.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Or Odor and Batista.
Oh my
God! They
God!
got in a fist fight at second base. That
hate Jose Batista, and seeing him get clocked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it Ruben Endor?
Odor, his last name was Odor.
Yeah. Either way,
but that guy
new favorite player.
And he's half his size, and he was yeah, let's go. That was awesome. But but other than that, if there's not a physical brawl, there's not a lot of drama in baseball. There never really was, But back when it was Boston, it was Jason Varitek, Pedro, all
A-Rod.
Those guys. Yeah, A-Rod. When every game, I felt like I was obligated to watch. I was like, dude, something's gonna happen. They were always a playoff game. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been anything like that. In baseball.
The Red Sox last year were trash.
No, I'm just saying this is any rivalry. I mean, there's plenty of rivalries.
But the only time the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry is really good is when both teams are fighting for the. Yeah. And that's what it just.
But it's different. It's so definitely different. Even on a game that's meaningless.
Yeah, anything can happen.
But you didn't see that with the other teams in the league. There's other rivalries, but
San Francisco and LA like to say that they have one.
Yeah.
Even
it's
the Mets
because the fans fucking kill each other after the games in San Fran and L.A.
Well, that was football.
No, it was. I thought it was baseball.
No, it was the 49, and it was a preseason NFL game. With the
No.
49ers and
There
the
was something
Raiders.
with that too. No, I'm
there
saying
was something
the
else with
Dodgers and the Giants. Yeah, like some guy in the state. Yeah. They like almost killed a guy, or they did kill a guy. I don't know. It was something crazy. But I remember
Brick
that.
killed a guy.
Yeah. But I get Oakland and San Fran because they're right next to each other. But
like, it's one thing for a proximity rivalry.
Yeah.
It's another thing to have the actual history.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Sox Yankees, that's a lot of history.
yes.
But even Mets Phillies, like, it's not a lot of history because really the Yankees.
Really, it's the fan bases hating
the
each
fan
other. It's not
bases.
the-
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
like with the Red Sox and the Yankees, there's so many times they met in the playoffs and just killed each other. And
just
even in the
historic
70s,
things. I mean, like look at the Bucky Dent home run.
the Bucky Dent home run,
Yeah.
the brawl at home plate with
Yep.
Lou Piniella, and I can't remember the other dude's name.
Aaron Boone hit the home run, the knuckleball over the he
The
hit
Aaron
Wakefield.
Boone home run. I remember. I was like, it was 03. So how old was I?
God, that was 03?
15. That's 2003.
Holy shit.
Was I 15 in 03? 16. Something like that. I was in my loft bed in my room, and we had tickets to the World Series, which my dad took one of his girlfriends to. I already went to two. It's not fair. I had to work that day. But I was still hoping maybe I'd go to the World Series. And no, Dad chose pussy over me, which is fine. Dad, you made the right choice, big man. But he had already gone to bed because he had to get up for work, and the game was just dragging because the Yankee Red Sox game already is 4 hours. This is a playoff game, so it's like 5 hours.
Before people were acknowledging how long games were.
And they were so long. But he had like just gone to bed, and I'm just like laying in my bed watching it, and I have like a ladder for that loft bed. I cleared that ladder. I just jumped straight down. We're going to the World Series. Going to the World Series. All right, fine. He just went back to sleep. And he's like, did we really win? In the morning, like, we won, right? It's like, yeah, we're going. But, God, yeah, that was amazing. But then, as great as that was, the Yankees lost that World Series, and then 2004 happened when the Yankees were up 3-0 and then lose 4 straight.
Yep. Historic.
And then they made Fever Pitch.
Thanks, Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
And the
But,
Farrellys. Remake, by the way.
it's a
Fever
remake?
Pitch. Yep.
Is it?
The British one is about
Tennis.
football.
Oh, soccer.
Because Fever Pitch
Yeah.
is like the field.
Gay.
At least it was named Fever Pitch. It could be used for both.
Yeah.
Like a bisexual.
Since you're not a Jim, but you're a Jet Islander fan,
Yeah.
what would mean more to you, seeing a Stanley Cup or a
Stanley Cup.
Super
Because
Bowl?
the Jets can suck my dick. Okay? I really can't stand the Jets. I hope everything.
I mean, you can think about it if you want.
No. Oh, God, no. First of all, also, I love hockey.
Yeah.
I played football a little bit, but I played hockey. I still try to play hockey. But
Yeah.
the guys on my hockey team that listen to this, all 3 of you, are probably like, yeah, you haven't been to a game in 3 years.
Yeah.
I know. I have a life. Excuse me. But I love the Islanders way more than I like the Jets. And I can't even say I love the Jets anymore. They're the worst.
I don't know how anybody does. It's crazy.
They wear green.
Like
That's
what
about it.
what that team does to their fan base is just, you know what it is too. I guess because baseball's got such a longer season, so you know that there's room for like getting hot
Improvement?
and you'd be like,
Or changing shit up.
yeah. Football.
Case.
I mean, if you have a bad 5 weeks, you're done.
You're done.
You know, like
well, just look at the Jets with their last 8 weeks. They
Yeah.
went 6-2 and still didn't matter.
Yeah.
Still didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Because your beginning was so terrible. And also, too, like, it's very easy to say, you know, there was injuries and this and that and the mono and everything. I'm fine with all that. I'll take that. But we're going to lose Le'Veon Bell. We're probably going to lose him.
I don't know. I mean, they signed him to a 4-year deal, and that was only his first year. So
Right. But
they're paying him, and they said that they're not moving him. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I hope we keep, because he's honestly
you have
one
to
of
fix
the
the
best
offensive
players.
line. I mean, either way, if
fix
you want to save
everything.
if you want to save Darnold, you need an offensive line.
We need offensive line, and we need a coach. Speaking of coaches, and I'm glad you're wearing this. I wanted to talk about this since I heard this person get hired as the Giants head coach.
Joe Judge.
Who? I never heard of
Dude.
this guy.
I'm not gonna lie.
No. Me fucking first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna ask questions I know the answers to, but I want you to tell me them. All right. Joe Judge is his name?
Yes.
We call him JJ?
Sure.
I'll call him JJ because he's a fucking joke to me. All right. JJ.
Yeah.
Before being hired as the Giants' head coach.
Yes.
The guy that runs the show.
Yes.
What was his occupation?
He was the wide receivers coach and special teams coach for the New England Patriots.
So, in other words, he's not qualified to be a head coach.
John Harbaugh was a special teams coach before he was hired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, which he has won a Super Bowl.
No Harbaugh, and
how do you know that?
Come on, at least when Harbaugh
his
came
resume is way better than Harbaugh's was. He was Nick Saban's assistant too for like 4 years, so he's got a couple BCS championships and he's got a couple Super Bowls under his belt. And special teams is the only coach that deals with both sides of the ball.
Okay, all that being said,
so he has
the
to
Giants
hired the entire team.
Jason Garrett as their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
How is Jason Garrett
offensively? The Cowboys were in the top 5.
No. I'm not saying anything bad. Actually, I don't mind.
He's
Jason.
actually a good coordinator. He's just a terrible head coach.
But if he was hired as the Giants
head coach... was hired as the head coach, I would have to find another team because there's no fucking way I would ever...
So you're more behind someone who is completely untested.
Yes.
Okay.
No, hold on. Over Jason Garrett? Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
It's not a landslide, but I mean, if it's Jason Garrett, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna take a nobody over that. Just because you know what Garrett is.
Do we?
Yeah.
I mean,
you say what you want about the Cowboys. They do spend money. They actually have built, the last couple of years, they've built a very good team, talent-wise.
But my real big thing about Joe Judge isn't necessarily his background and pedigree.
Yeah.
His press conference sounded...
better than Gase's.
Oh, I'm not talking. Don't bring that asshole. Don't bring Gase into this. I'm not ever gonna defend Kokeye's grace. Okay. All right. First of all, what did you take before you went on camera? Looking at everything like it's brand new.
I don't know, man.
It looked like he was born again.
He's like, has anyone noticed the hole in the ceiling?
We're all gonna die. Yeah. Everyone, get out of this room.
You guys ever heard of a white squall?
I could feel all your bad thoughts. Like, just what the fuck was going on with Gase?
Hear my hair growing.
Yeah, exactly. But no. Joe Judge. I wish I had the quotes, but like he's saying shit like, "We're gonna play hard football."
Yeah, hard nose.
Shut the fuck up. That's what you say to a fucking middle school
I'm sold,
team.
Man. I'm sold.
Wow.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if this was a coach that was hired by any other team, you would look at it and be like, "This guy sounds like a clown."
No, I mean, I think it's different just because he's in New York, so obviously he's under a bigger microscope, but. I think if he went to like Jacksonville or any of those teams, I think it would just be another okay, cool.
I want a guy to come in here to any of our New York teams, whether I'm a fan of them or not, and just not sound like this is the first time he's ever been in front of people.
Yeah.
And Joe Judge sounded like every high school football coach I've ever had.
But also being from New York, you're going to sit there and analyze. I'm
a football fan.
That's just how it is. That's
sure.
If we lived in fucking Tennessee, I don't think any of us would. They'd be like, "Well, welcome, Joe. Wish for you for the best." You know?
I honestly think if we lived in Tennessee, Joe Judge would be welcome with open arms. Yeah, because that's what we want here. But even like the Tennessee Titans coach, which is
Mike Vrabel.
When he talks, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like he actually put some thought into it and didn't just pick up from like a pop-up book about football and just recite those lines.
I don't know. I'm going to give the guy a chance.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah,
you got to give him a chance. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. There are other coaches that have more, not even just more experience, but like, is that the way he interviewed too? Like, it just sounds like so ridiculous.
I think after McAdoo.
McAdoo?
Yeah. And the way he wore that stupid fucking suit that he looked like he He basically looked like a kid getting his communion wearing his older brother's suit.
Oh my God, yeah,
with
no,
the fucking shoulder pad. Giants football, man. I mean, we've been so bad for years that I'm just kind of like, I'm glad they ripped the Eli Band-Aid off. It's like just fucking.
Well, they didn't rip it off. He retired.
Yeah. Well, his contract was up, so he just.
Also, too, like as bad as Eli was, they really, other than maybe Odell and a couple other pieces, they really didn't help him that much.
No.
Yeah. So like.
And that's what got me about everyone's given, and for years you never heard shit about Jerry Reese. But the amount of slack that Gettleman gets, and it's like, dude, do you realize what he had to fucking fix?
Yeah.
Dude, when you have like 8 straight years of none of your draft picks are even on the fucking team anymore, that's a mess.
Yeah.
That is a mess.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
And then to back himself up, Reese spent $200 million on a defense.
That did nothing.
Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? You got to give. I got to look. Oh, what is he doing? He traded Odell. Odell wasn't helping them win, so who gives a shit? Let him go.
Yeah.
You got a first-round pick for him.
Yeah.
And
it's just a giant clusterfuck.
It is, but people need to look at the whole thing as just opposed to one fucking move. Like, oh.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do in this society.
Dude, we talk about. I bring this up all the fucking time, and I'm pretty pissed because Andrew Schultz just mentioned this on his podcast, and I've been saying this for fucking years, dude. But name the last elite wide receiver to win a Super Bowl. I'm talking elite, top 5.
This kind of ties into my argument about Darrelle Revis too.
Oh yeah.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
But, well, who were the last winners? Let's just go through that. Just
Patriots have won a million. Oh, or even just all right, yeah. Patriots have won a bunch. Seattle's won a couple.
Kansas City, I mean, really, it's like more like the Kelsey show than any of the wide receivers. And obviously.
But I'm talking guys that are getting paid big money, top dollar, and they're considered future.
Larry didn't win, right?
Larry didn't win. But Larry, I mean, fantastic.
But everybody loves Larry.
Yes.
Can't get Larry, we're never talking about you.
Julio Jones had like a historic game. They didn't win.
Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Dude, the Falcons should have been relegated.
Randy Moss actually lost when they played the Giants.
That's right.
So Randy Moss didn't win one.
I mean, it's easy to say Jerry Rice.
T.O. He didn't win one with Philly. They lost.
Plax.
No, he wasn't top 5, but he was good.
He could have been if he didn't shoot himself.
Yeah.
And then end up on the Jets.
Yeah.
Santonio Holmes? I know he didn't win, but I don't even know if
he wasn't a top 5. They did win, but he wasn't a top 5 guy. Getting
Brown
paid in
wasn't
top 5.
On that team.
No. You really can't think of one. And Seattle's never had a top paid wide receiver or top, they've just been like small, fast guys.
But like that's the argument too, where like everyone always says Darrelle Revis.
Top paid corners? No. That's the worst investment you can fucking make.
Yeah, he shuts down half the field. All right, but you lost the game.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, if you don't have a pass rush, then what about the entire rest of the defense?
I just hate the one thing where people say Darrelle Revis was the greatest Jet ever, probably. Or they'll have an opinion.
The guy that turned his back on the franchise.
Not only turned his back on the franchise, was a holdout more than once. Yeah. Like... There's just so many things about him I don't like. But apparently, though, he's a really good person, a really good dude. Very charitable and all that. And just easy to work with outside of the game with, like, media and things like that, which does go a long way. But at the same time, like...
There's not a lot of guaranteed money in football, though, too. That's
sure, I get that. But, like, he didn't win shit. No. He didn't win shit with us. And either way on any of the other teams. Yeah. Granted how talented he is, in football it's always like, oh, it's a team game, it's a team this, but every time it's like, well, you need the best quarterback in the world or you got nothing. So what is it? The truth is definitely somewhere in the middle. It's the
lines, first of all. Offensive line, defensive line, that's where it starts. If you don't have either of those, you ain't winning shit.
Yeah, agreed.
It doesn't mean anything.
But
running back is a dime a dozen. You can fucking find a running back.
I just really it just bothers me when people put so much stock into one part of the game or one player.
Because of fantasy sports. That's what it is. The amount of people that called me fucking crazy.
Shit out of me.
And called me crazy for me liking the Odell trade. Meanwhile, look what he did this year in Cleveland. He had 1 touchdown, I think. He was terrible. Terrible. Yeah, and now he's coming out saying, I had a core issue. Now you're saying that, dude? Shut up. But
yeah, hindsight's always
what did they? Yeah, like what? I don't know. I didn't think it was really a big deal losing him. I thought it was better for everybody else.
Well, it's a big deal losing him because
and
they were left with literally
And you're going to
nothing.
expect a young kid to come into that guy. Fucking, you'd have to deal with him every single game. I'm not getting the ball. I'm like, just bitching. Instead of being like, hey, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're like an extroverted personality and you're winning.
Yeah.
But it's another one when your team is just mediocre or worse.
Yeah.
And he was
And
never
you're
on
making
a
it
really
all about
great
yourself.
team. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that's another one, too, who was getting thrown a lot of, like, sponsorships and was in a lot of commercials.
Building his brand. That's the thing now. All these athletes want to build their brand.
There's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the guys that want to build their brand and have no idea how are really the problems.
Yeah. Oh, Valentine's Day. How was your Valentine's Day?
Lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, me neither.
I was supposed to see an old friend yesterday. By the way, everyone, this is February 16th that we're doing this show. But I'll tell you a kind of funny story that ties into Valentine's Day and the friend I was supposed to see.
This friend is a female?
Female.
Okay.
Old friend, knew her in high school. We saw each other a few years ago, but did not go well for a lot of reasons and really wasn't as much a personal thing as much as there were a lot of other...
I hope she's listening so she can
I
hear
don't...
you.
Trust me, we talked about this. It's fine. And I don't really care. And she's not listening. Are you kidding me? Who listens to this show?
Open your heart, Edward.
Doesn't matter. But at the time, it was like this time, the same time of the year that we started seeing each other then. And I sent her, like, flowers.
Okay.
And they were sent to her in a vase. She was living with her sister at the time. And she sees that it just was from a florist. And she didn't see that it was sent to her. So she immediately yells out to her sister, "Oh, your boyfriend sent you something," like kicked.
Oh my God.
She broke the vase, and it was the flowers that I got for her.
Oh my God.
I don't care. It wasn't like it was like super expensive. It was like, this is the perfect analogy for why this didn't really work the first time. Will it work again?
Jesus.
Probably not. It's not, and it wasn't even like last night was supposed to be a date. I don't know if she was taking it like that. But either way, she canceled on me last night, which is fine.
Nice. What
Not a
were
big
the
deal.
plans? And did you actually decide on a plan or just?
Well, it was more just to like catch up. I haven't seen her in a while, and yeah, I feel like when we first went out, I didn't really get to date her. I feel like I kind of got gypped out of it.
Yeah.
So-
She's schizophrenic too. You dated her.
Dated her alter ego.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's very possible.
Her possessed side.
But also to my credit as to being an awful person myself, she didn't really get me either.
Yeah.
I was in.
That
I
was early Ed. You're now mid Ed.
I guess if you want to put it like that.
That's
It was
back
when
to-
you and I.
That's a walk hard thing. This is middle Dewey. That was early Dewey. This is middle Dewey.
Yeah, I think we're only gonna get to middle Ed. I don't think we're gonna see anything past that. I walk too hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I sprint when I walk, so eat your heart out. But
It's because you're flat-footed.
I am flat-footed. I just stomp.
Yeah. Everything's dump.
I make
You sound like
craters.
you're upstairs when there's no upstairs.
Which is funny because I've always been light on my feet. I don't get it. I never understood. I guess the glass never broke with me with that.
Yeah.
But that was my Valentine's Day. What about your Valentine's Day? I mean, I worked. That's my Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. It was,
Yeah, we're both lonely.
Yeah, that was
alright.
pretty sweet. I watched some movies. That was fun. I don't know. Valentine's Day is just. I just think it's such a fucking sham. Anyway, even when I'm, even when you're with somebody, it's just like you should just be hanging out regardless, appreciating that person. It
Sure.
shouldn't just be because of that day.
I have another friend of mine who's married who says the same thing. Because I remember when he was first dating his now wife, I asked, "Oh, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day?" He's like, "That Ponzi scheme." It's like, okay. Fuck me for asking. I'm sorry. I guess I'll leave. He just got almost offended when I asked. I was like, well, I didn't create it. It's like, it's created by the Hallmark Company and this and that. It's like, all right, but you don't have to give them flowers or a card. You could do whatever you want.
I remember I was dating this girl and had they did like the Pro Flowers thing. I think this was before Sherry's Berries even existed. Yeah. So, they do the deal. You get a teddy bear, some flowers, and something else, whatever. So, had it ordered. Me and my buddy Will ordered them the same exact. Literally, we were together when we ordered them. And his girlfriend was upstate at school. So, we didn't even know. Like, she was, like, going to Geneseo, so that was, like, the middle of fucking nowhere. He was worried. He's like, oh, God, I hope, like, it gets to her in time or whatever. And, so everything got to her on time. I ordered, like, the bear, the fucking flowers, whatever. So I get a message, like, 45 minutes before it's supposed to be delivered that, oh, we don't have any more flowers. We ran out. There will be another gift, though. So I'm like, what? What does that mean? It was like an email, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So my girlfriend she called me a text. Oh my God, so nice. It was like it was like roasted nuts or something, and I was like, you didn't even get the bear? I was like, what the fuck? And it was like no flowers, and it was just like nuts. And she thought it was great, and I was so pissed because it was like $70 or something. Right. It was like because you had to pay for the shipping to get there on time or whatever.
But when did you make the order? Was it like the day before?
No, it was like the week before. And my buddy's girlfriend up in bumfuck New York, she got everything, and then mine got like whatever, got all messed up. So I called them up like screaming out. I was like, I made up that she had like a peanut allergy. I was like, she had a nut allergy, almost killed her. I was like adamant I get my money back. I was like, this is bullshit, fucking nuts. And I don't know,
that's
it was
amazing.
So bad. Needless to say, that relationship ended like 3 days later, but whatever.
But she was happy with it. I honestly, I think my last Valentine, I don't know. I don't know what my last Valentine
And it's ridiculous, too, because you order all that shit, and if you want it delivered that day, it's like an extra $50.
Well, no shit, man. It's the busiest day. What?
No, I'm saying, like, delivery is obviously,
yeah,
I know. But it's just so much better to get something delivered the day before and then just give it to them the next day.
Yeah, have it sent to you.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, I mean... the last one I did that for broke the vase.
Just kicked it.
Yeah. Didn't even know it was for her, which is fine. I deserve it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all right. All good things must come to an end, Steve.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like this show.